Hello, Al Pals, or as it seems, Al Pal for now. Just one person in the chat. I know this is very, very late notice, but I just felt like getting on here and talking and saying hi to who may ever want to drop by, ask me a question, or just hear me ramble along as I talk about things in my life and may be coming up on the channel and other general things that I don't even know have crossed my mind yet. So, with that little introduction out of the way, hope everyone is having a wonderful 2023. I still think it sounds like we should have flying cars and jetpacks. Mine now, being a child of the 70s and young adult uh, into adulthood in the 80s. It still sounds like a dystopian future date anytime we have a two at the beginning. But 2023, so far, so good for me. Almost 1 month in, approaching the 1 year anniversary of the passing of my mother, which is next month, February 20th. A little worried about how I might handle that few-day stretch, but just keep me in your thoughts that time, and just send me some good vibes. But I was just putting it out there. It was on my mind today as I was looking at her picture. Daniel Heron, how are you doing? What color is the white rabbit? Well, I would hope that it would be the same as who's buried in Grant's tomb. But anyway, how you doing, Daniel Heron, the Birdman, being in the house? I hope I can mention one or two things about what's going on in Daniel's life. Yes or no? I hope. Tell me. No details, just in general. Just send your prayers to Daniel Heron's family. I'm not going to wait for notice. Everybody could use prayers and good thoughts. Just some stuff going on. Keep him in your prayers and his family, and always good to keep everybody that you know of in your prayers. Same thing for Professor Geek. His little girl just had a surgery. He did a video on it earlier today. Definitely stop by Professor Geek's channel. Well, actually, it'll be the Catholic Bible Geeks channel. He did it on that platform. So check that out. He talks about why he's been kind of busy in the last several weeks and months because his little girl's been going through some health issues. And as for me, I keep meaning to get on and just rambling and talking and chatting, and I do my reviews and I do my rewatches. Just haven't gotten on for a good ramble in a while, and I threatened it last last week on the rewatch. I was like, "Geo, stay tuned. Could be going live at any time." And that's what I like to do, just popping on and just mouthing off, whether I have someone watching or not. That is literally up to you guys. And I know I didn't give, like I said, didn't give that much notice this time. I just was here, and I thought, I even changed my little thumbnail to say evening. The early got cut off. I've got to change the size ratio of that particular picture. But like I said, early evening. It is technically afternoon. I mean, noon's 12, 6. It's after. So I hope everyone appreciates that. Things that are going on tomorrow night, rewatch will be on my channel, Big Al Presents, of course. We're going to be watching John Carpenter's They Live, the great sci-fi horror film starring Rowdy Roddy Piper. Uh, if you remember it, you remember it's the one with they put on the glasses and he sees the world as it is, which is under a control of aliens, and we're getting some liminal messages everywhere, and it's a great little film. It'd be a fun discussion on maybe how things are going today. Maybe not so many subliminal messages, although I'm sure there's some out there like that, but just getting barraged by different points of view and different versions of media. That is definitely some stuff that's going on and could lead to some great uh, talks tomorrow night between me, Troy, and Nanette. I keep trying to get Boomer to join, but Boomer's got a lot going on down down south, getting his life back together, kind of his home. And although he is back in the swing and doing his things, still trying to set up because he and I have been wanting to watch the Robert Sherwood series. We did the first couple episodes. We're going to get back to that hopefully in the next month or so. Um, so that's one thing to look forward to. Uh, Also, the Birdman should be back in full swing after I believe another week, hopefully. He's been kind of holidays and everything and some stuff going on. He's had some time off, but definitely has to get in February because February is the birthday of John Williams and Jerry Goldsmith, and he's got to be doing some stuff on his channel. Sure, rewatching some of the great films with the great scores by those gentlemen. Hi, AL. How you doing? Once again, my condolences to you, AL. I know you're going through a tough time. Uh, Seems like it's a bad time for a lot of people. There's always something going on. February the 8th, Last Crusade. I was wondering when we were going to get to see Last Crusade. I know you did the other two. Uh, Last Crusade, that was a good one. I watched that few weeks ago. And February 8th is the great man's birthday, John Williams. That I know for sure. Uh, Interested in seeing what Goldsmith films you pick. Um, but yeah, so that's going on the Birdman's channel. Did mention the rewatch for tomorrow night. Oh, thank you, AL. If hearing me ramble on talking about stuff makes you feel better, it's my absolute privilege to do so. If you have if anybody who's listening that have any questions to ask me, opinions slash otherwise, serious questions, Daniel. not ask me what color the white rabbit is, but please let me know because I love answering questions. I love giving my opinion on stuff. In fact, we're going to give my opinion on Academy Awards in a few moments once I run down a little bit more about what's going on my channel. My rewatches. You all know I love my rewatches. Me and Netters Network shares every other week, and her next one a week from tomorrow night is going to be Cat People, an 80s horror film with Malcolm McDowell and Nastasha Kinski. Really creepy. Looking forward to that. But February for my channel, Big Al Presents, February is going to be Futuristic February. You know I love my alliterations. And the first film we're going to be watching, which is on whatever that first Friday, whatever that first Saturday in February is, I think it is the 4th. Is it the 14th? Or it's the 14th or the 11th. Let me double check here. I got a little calendar here. It is the 11th. I knew it was something. The 14th was this month. So on the 11th, we're going to be watching from 1979, the film that started the NBC sci-fi series Buck Rogers in the 25th century. We are going to be watching the theatrical film version of the pilot of Buck Rogers in the 25th century. Gil Gerard, Aaron Gray. That is February 11th. Looking forward to that. 2 weeks after that to conclude Futuristic February. So on the 25th, going to be watching the classic. And this time I really mean, I use classic for a lot of these films, and maybe not necessarily a classic, This one is a classic. Logan's Run, great sci-fi film from '76, I believe. So the year before Star Wars. Logan's Run, which they call on Ross on Friends, calls the sexiest movie of all time. Jenny, well, the girl in there is awfully attractive. Also, one of the early films that features Farrah Fawcett Majors, Charlie's Angel herself. So those are our two February's February rewatches. Yes, Daniel had you at Aaron Gray. And I'm going to have a great Aaron Gray story to tell and a great Gil Gerard story. But my Aaron Gray story is a lot better because it was a lot better experience. Not that the Gil Gerard was a bad experience. Gil Gerard was fine, but the Aaron Gray one, super sweet. Now I'll let you guys know that during the rewatch. So you got to show up at the rewatch if you want to hear the Aaron Gray story. March is going to be a little weird, and I will say during March, first of all, on the 11th of March, that's right, it's the same days for February and March. The 11th, Saturday the 11th, I will be showing the Rock and Roll Fable film. I forget what year it is, but it's Streets of Fire, starring Michael Pare, Diane Lane, Rick Moranis is in it, Willem Dafoe. Really fun musical, a lot of great music to it. It's not a musical. There's great music to it. And then later that month, we announced it on Netters Network last week. On February 24th and 25th, I, in conjunction with Troy Pacelli's Last Call show, are going to be showing the two Eddie and the Cruiser films. I'll be a guest star on Last Call with Troy Pacelli, and we're going to be watching Eddie and the Cruisers 1. And then that Saturday on my channel, of course, Troy will be there watching Eddie and the Cruisers 2. So some great music in March. I'm calling it Michael Pare March because Michael Pare is in both films. So doing that. Hi, Kyle Cullen. Wow, that got my tongue twisted there for a second. Dan Heron, flights international, difficult airport, China. Oh, sharing when the funeral is for AL, Saturday the 4th in Chinatown. So yeah, as I said, if anybody is new that popped in, definitely prayers for AL. Her mom passed well, she's been ill, but it was thought she was getting better, but didn't quite. Just kind of hit, and sadly, I know things just kind of pop up. My mom was 89 and not in the best of health, but what took her was a surprise. It was an infection that just kind of popped up, and yeah, that was not fun. But okay, on to funner things. What else is going on my channel? Yeah, I don't have any my rewatches for the rest of the year. Not quite sure. Although I kind of have a fun little idea for November. I'll just leave that in mind because that's a long way out. As I mentioned, going to try to get with Boomer to do more Robin of Sherwood rewatches. I'd like to get the odd Friday watching of a film. Tonight would have been a good night to do it, but nobody was really. I don't know. Just didn't ask anybody to watch anything. But just getting on and watching movies with everyone and having people share that is so wonderful. That's why I call it Films with Friends on my channel, and it's fun even if you're not on the stream, if you're in the chat watching along and sharing things. Always just great to know that there's this little even if it's like a small group of 4, 5, 6 people watching the same film and commenting on it and just experiencing it together is a lot of fun. And I pick out films I like or haven't seen in a while, old classics. I've still got some ideas germinating in my head. Nothing quite yet for April and May, and for the rest of the year. Got. I'm happy I got through March right now. Uh, but I'm going to put it out there. Anyone out there who wants to watch a film with me on a Friday night, about 7 or 8. I don't want to go into Troy's time on his channel with his last call, just out of respect. I don't like to step on people's feet, if I can help it. And if I can't help it, uh, I always apologize because sometimes the schedule does that. When me and a friend of mine had a chance to do a rewatch of a film on a Sunday night, it kind of crept into uh, the Geeky Geezer show, and they understood, and that was all fine. And me and my friend had a really fun rewatch of Kelly's Heroes, so that was enjoyable. So if you do want to, just contact me, Al Sievertson on Facebook. I'm on Twitter at big_Alboski, and I'm also on Instagram, also at Big Alboski, or is it Big Alboski one? I forget. Uh, it should be below. Look in one of my rewatches. I list all my stuff down in there. Daniel Heron, Die Hard every night in December on Big Al Presents. Why December? Die Hard's an action movie. It's good for any time. Doesn't have to be during just December. I don't know why you would want to watch Die Hard in December. It's just an action movie. Uh, Daniel, you and I are going to have to sit down and watch Die Hard this December. I think that would be a lot of fun. You and me having a good little jokey time with that. I think if anybody knows us, you know what I'm talking about. I am of the Die Hard is not a Christmas movie section, and Daniel's very much it's a Christmas movie thing. I respect that. I truly do. I do. It's not like I'm going to ostracize people because they believe Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Sound Engraver. Hello. Driving home. Hope to catch most of this. Awesome. I'm glad you are here. I hope you are not texting while you're driving or that you're getting chauffeured home. I don't know. I haven't seen your I saw you had a new video. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Just wondering. I'm just wondering any word on how things are going stream and computer wise. I know you were having some issues with streaming. Just not sure where you are with that. I hope they get corrected soon because I know a lot of people liked your Monday night show. Uh, but check out Sound Engraver on YouTube. God, I had a little brain blank there for a second. Sound Engraver on YouTube. She's got a great channel going there. Some great ideas on music, art, and some pop culture. She's getting out in the pop culture a little bit out there. Speaking of pop culture, something really weird has happened this year that has not happened, I think, in decades. And it has to do with the Academy Awards. And obviously, I'm not a big fan of award shows anymore. They've gotten way too political, people mouthing off and threatening people who don't have the same thoughts that they do. But I'm still interested on who gets nominated and who wins. I still find that kind of intriguing. Now, for years, it used to be just 5 films would get nominated for Best Picture. Now It's up to 10 movies, and this year they have 10 movies. First off, too many movies to be nominated for best movie. It's too unwieldy. Uh, a lot of them just seem like they are there for uh, political purposes. Not going to win. Avatar is not going to win best movie. It's not. And if it does, I'm going to truly be done with the Oscars because that will be insane. It's a fine movie, but it's not best movie of the year. So, so let's get that straight. Top Gun, maybe on an offhand, but I honestly don't think Top Gun is going to win Best Picture. I actually think it's a three-horse race. Actually, two horses and one underdog. And here's where I'm gonna show my what I was actually started to talk about. Uh, let me say that first. First off, this is the first time I've seen half of the movies that are nominated. I've actually seen 5 of the 10 of these films. That's never happened to me. I've always seen maybe 1, 2 tops. I've literally seen half of the movies that are being nominated for best film. Of course, 3 of those are like huge monster hits, but other than that, I mean, still, I'm actually surprised with myself at how much I was able to see this year. And just so you know, I've seen The Fablemans, which is a personal favorite of mine. I enjoy that. I saw Top Gun. I saw Avatar. I've seen All's Quiet on the Western Front, which I think is a dark horse. Uh, and I've seen The Banshees of Inisherin, which I think has a chance. That's the other one I think that probably going to win is that Everywhere All at Once. That's the kind of film they love to give an award to. But Banshees of Inisherin, excellent film. It's an actor's type of a film. It's not something you watch waiting for lots of action. It's very much a slow burn drama, intense, um, very personal uh, grudge kind of a film between. If you haven't seen it, it's a guy goes to a pub in the early 1900s, fictional Irish island. He goes to his local pub to sit down and have a drink with his best friend, and his best friend says he's done with him, doesn't want to talk to him anymore, wants him out of his life for no, and doesn't tell him why. Just says, "Done with you. It's over. Bye." And it literally drives him crazy to the point where uh, the guy who's trying to get rid of Colin Farrell is was literally willing to cut digits off of his hand to get him to stay away. He's like, "I'm cutting a finger off of my own hand every time you talk to me." And it's just a very strange interaction and just how it affects everybody on the island. But it's great acting. It's a great story. Uh, Beautifully filmed. Loved it. All's Quiet on the Western Front, great adaptation of the book with a few extra things that aren't in the book. I read the book about gazillion years ago in school, but I can't remember anything about it except the basics. And All's Quiet on the Western Front, though, German film nominated for Best Foreign Film. Hope it should win that. I think that's going to be its award. But that Everywhere All at Once, I'd like to see. Haven't had a chance to see it yet, but I'm just surprised I've seen that many films. I'm shocked. Um, well, okay, let me see here. Yeah, AL's done with award show. Yeah, Santa Graver. No, I'm driving. I mean, I'm about to drive. I never text and drive. Exactly. We want Santa Graver around for as long as possible, and I'm sure Professor Geek feels the same way. Uh, Santa Graver, I miss streaming. Not sure when you'll be at it again because StreamYard freezes all the time. I may do more testing soon. That said, I premiere my normal videos, so there is a live chat. Oh, okay. Yeah, so you could get the interaction as it's running. Uh, my cousin is in SAG, so she gets to vote on the winners of the Oscars. That's kind of cool. She gets complimentary copies of the movies when she has to destroy them after watching. They nominate these movies so they get more money. Yeah, see, that's what I always thought. That's why you always see those little artsy films get it. You rarely ever see blockbusters get nominated, or maybe you get one blockbuster. But this year they got Top Gun and Avatar, and those are the two biggest. And of course, lots of other. And I know the Fablemans got nominated. And I saw the Fablemans. It's not a big hit, but it's a good solid film. Don't think it's going to win though, but it's a good solid. It's the kind of film that would normally get nominated and just not win. So, but we'll see in March. Uh, Personally, I'm predicting Everywhere and Nowhere, whatever that movie is, Everywhere All at Once. I think I would like to see Brendan Fraser win Best Actor. I think Michelle Yeoh is going to win Best Actress, though I'd like to see Michelle Williams win. But she was good, but I don't think she was Oscar strong. I think Short Round will win for supporting actor and supporting actress. I am not even sure who's nominated, except for Jamie Lee Curtis, who is a first-time nominee. Congratulations to her. So yeah, but yeah, like I said, doesn't I don't plan to watch, but I'm always interested to see who wins. I'd love, but the big story for me, Brendan Fraser, playing a man who is sick and very obese, and kind of I kind of relate to that. And I'd like to see that film, The Whale, to see. I know it's not. I know it's not going to be a feel good movie, but I'd like to see it. I took my hubby to see Top Gun on his birthday on IMAX. I will say, I bet that film is beautiful on IMAX because that was some gorgeous cinematography. Top Gun was awesome. Uh, and I'm not the biggest Tom Cruise fan. I something's really off about him to me sometimes, but I can't take away the fact that he was awesome in the film, and that film is a spectacular escape, well constructed, well written, well acted. I think it deserves a nomination. Uh, I think I'm not at all shocked by it. Avatar, I think, was a pity vote. I, don't- I don't know why that got nominated for Best Picture. It's a beautiful film, but it's an hour and 45 minute storyline shoved into like stretched beyond belief into a 3 hour film. Uh, yeah, it's a beautiful 3 hours, but dang, it's like it's like going to a museum. It's a lot of beauty, but just a lot of walking to get around all that beauty. That was a weird analogy, but yeah, but yeah, yeah, that's my opinion on the Oscars. But just wondering how many people are going to be showing up tomorrow night for They Live, huh? How many have seen They Live? Because if you do show up, if you don't have a copy, remember usually, knock wood, as long as everything's cool on his end, provides a Cosby link where you can watch along and listen along to us at the same time. And we had a good rewatch last week with Cat Baloo. Uh, that was the first time I had an issue with my video at the same time, and I had to end up watching Good Cosby. It's a good thing he had it because the version I had was kind of quick. It's an hour 36 movie, but my copy was an hour 32, so I kept getting ahead. It happens. Daniel Heron saw They Live in the movie theater. I did too. The first week it was out. Uh, I was I saw it because of Roddy Piper. I was a big wrestling fan, and see Roddy Piper, any or at the time any wrestler in a film, I kind of wanted to go see it. Although Hulk Hogan, I didn't see much because they never really had him down here at the time. The we Only now do we have a lot of movie theaters in the area. At the time, we had like two, and so you got two films at a time. We got a six screener, and then the other two closed, so we went from two to six, and then eventually, I think now there's like 12. The six is still open, and there's a new 12 open. So we get movies now. But I miss going to the movies. I really haven't seen a movie. Last movie I saw in a movie theater was one of the last Harry. It was a Harry Potter film. Tells you how long ago it was. I haven't been to a movie theater since before my last surgery. Between my first and last surgery, I was able to get to a few movies, but not since. Just too much on the old body. AL Seem They Live. It's weird and not sure how I feel about it. It is something. In fact, if you want a preview of my avatar for tomorrow night, blah. That is my avatar I'm going to be using tomorrow night. That's me as an alien. Well, had a lot of fun doing that. Let's just say you're going to be seeing him at the beginning of the film anyway, because I've been doing those little tonight's our feature presentation little intro things just for fun, and let's just say you'll see him again. Alien Al. Um, but yeah, it's a scary film, and it makes you think. It's almost pseudo like the Matrix, but we're not in pods. We're just uh, experiencing an illusion, which I think is kind of neat. The ending confused you, and you thought that's it. You're right. There's a lot more story to tell. I don't know if they were going to do a. I'll figure. I haven't done my research for it yet. I cram at the last minute, and I'm not sure if they were going to do a sequel, but it was right for a sequel. I like the ending for what it was because it's very much looking back on it. I liked how it ended because it is so open ended. It leaves the audience unsure about what may or may not happen. Because there are a lot of confused people at the end, which I think is a very good thing. I think They Live as like I said, it's been a while since I've seen it, so I'll be interesting to see if it stands the test of time. But I remember being very intrigued by it and loving the concept. It's actually based on a short story that I haven't read yet, but I found, and I really hope maybe I'll get a chance to read it before tomorrow night. Knowing me, I doubt it, but I'll try. We'll see what happens. Saturday Graveyard, you laughed when you saw your Dark Star in your feed. I saw it years ago. It was so absurd and funny. It is. Dark Star is a really strange flick, and we found out again. It'd been a long time since I'd seen it and had forgotten a lot about it. I knew bulk part. My favorite part, of course, is the beach ball alien. But it is just so absurdist. Done in the early 70s. There were some drugs floating around when they were coming up with this film. But yeah, Dark Star was fantastic to watch again, especially with other people, because you could watch it by yourself and not get nearly as much enjoyment out of something. when you watch with someone and they're interacting, it just seems to enhance it, which is why I do the rewatches and why I love doing rewatches. Um, if you hear dings, I am getting a message from friends. Sorry, just uh, okay. Little thing there. Someone I'm trying to get on a movie, and someone I've already had a movie with. Just answering earlier conversations. Um, but yeah, if you get a chance to check out Dark Star, I'm gonna try to do or figure out some other films like that are just so weird and bizarre. Those cult films. Ale never saw Dark Star. Well, wish you could have joined us 2 weeks ago when we watched it on my channel. If you ever get a chance to get a copy of it, I've got the rewatches up and ready to go. Listen to Nanette, Troy, and I kind of laugh and make fun of it, and there's some really interesting concepts in it, like artificial intelligence. Do you want a bomb to be intelligent? I wouldn't. I would think that'd be a bit dangerous, or useless, depending on the conscience that he suddenly found himself having. Uh, if you make a bomb that suddenly gets a consciousness and doesn't feel like wanting to blow up, that's basically a tin can. But yeah, Dark Star is good. I'm trying to think of some other really good cult classic type movies like that. I know we did on the Birdman's channel. We did George Lucas's early film THX 1138, which is really interesting. If you ever get a chance to check that out, he's got our reaction to that on there. Uh, I don't know if Daniel is still here or not, but he's got a great channel honoring all the wonderful soundtracks and scores. He got a motherload of a shipment yesterday, like 29 or something CDs that he bought off of La La Land. That's a man who knows how to shop for CDs. I bludgeon myself if I want to order one, trying to convince myself, and he's like, "Oh, click, 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 clicking away, ordering himself soundtracks." God bless him. I wish my headspace was like that, where I could just enjoy buying things because I wanted them and I collected them. Yep, Daniel still says he is here. Did you enjoy the Amistad CD, by the way? You said you were going to listen to it last night. I was wondering how it came out, because that's the one he assigned the gift card I gave him to. So technically, I gave him the Amistad soundtrack that he bought. Um, and yes, he bought me Friday the 13th. They had a sale on Friday the 13th of all those films, and he graciously got me a copy of the was it the ultimate cut of the original film. Was on sale for a very good price, and I was going to buy it. I kept thinking, I was like, do I want it? Do I really want it? And then next thing I know, it's like, it's on its way to you. And I was like, God bless you, man. I mean, maybe I need some, like, a financial advisor who just goes through it, like, knows what I want and just buys it. I guess that's what Amazon wish lists are for. I really need to go. I don't even know what's on my wish list anymore. I know a couple of Poe books, and I took the I had I had a shower transfer chair on there. I took that off because it wouldn't be of any use now that I think about it. But yeah, like I said, just wanted to get on there and talk for a while, see how everybody was doing, tell everybody what was coming up on my channel. I'm hoping that everybody joins us tomorrow night for They Live, John Carpenter's They Live, depending on which title you prefer. It's the last film of John Carpenter, January, because we had Dark Star, which was a John Carpenter film. And next month, futuristic February, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, and Logan's Run. Two great sci-fi films. Well, one great sci-fi film and one that I really love. Well, two I really love, but Buck Rogers is not exactly what some would consider classic sci-fi, but it is a lot of fun, and it started a great TV show that I really liked, and whose actors and who actor and actress I have met, and I'll share some of those stories. Uh, okay, Ale, not sure if you can, but drop by for a few minutes. Yeah, well, I know you've got a lot of stuff going on, so I would expect, yeah, just pop by and leave a like. I would be more than happy, and I know I know this kind of time in your life can be a bit uh, weird, um, but things do get easier, and you start, think of the good and try to lessen the bad. That's the best I could advice I've got. But it'll always be there in your heart. So I don't know. I'm kind of starting to have my own little issue right now. Uh, but yeah, February is going to be tough for Big Al. So keep me in mind. Anybody got any questions out there about what's going on in the world of entertainment, of TV? I've got the review I did of that 90s show, if anybody's checked that out. I've done Vikings Valkyrie. I did that series. I'm hoping people have checked them out. Might do one on the Banshees of Inisherin. Might do one on The Menu, which I watched. Uh, both of them I would suggest if you like acting. Although The Menu, I would think if you like a good thriller and kind of a dark comedy, I think The Menu is something you guys would enjoy. What else is out there? Doo doo doo. Uh, oh yeah, and I might be doing All's Quiet on the Western Front, which I watched yesterday. So yeah, I can suggest that one if you enjoy gritty war movies and have seen um and are and enjoy if you enjoy that dark, muddy, war as hell, life in the trenches, it is a very powerful film, and the ending is it'll have you sitting there going, damn. I mean, that's all I can say. I mean, if you know the story, you know it's a rough ending. I mean, wars do not end well for many people. So, uh, yeah, Ailes read the book. It is depressing, and it is, and so is this. So is the movie. The movie does generally follow the basic storyline. Few changes here and there, uh, but the emotional toll is the same. Uh, the basics are the same, and the guy who plays the main character is a very good face actor. He doesn't need to say much in order for you to really know what's going on. He's got very expressive eyes, especially in that last scene. If anybody does watch or hasn't seen it, the very last scene, um, the attack. Oh wow, the look on his face said everything. I knew exactly what he was thinking, and more importantly, I knew what he wasn't thinking, which is kind of I know what I mean, but it's a very powerful film, very powerful. I'm not sure. No. Al, find a comedy, find a fun film that you enjoy or a fun show that you can watch over and over and over again. Uh, there's that line from Alan Jackson's "Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning," where he just couldn't watch it anymore on TV and he had to watch I Love Lucy reruns. Sometimes that's what you need to do. Give your soul something to enjoy. Uh, I would not make it anything depressing. Most of the books you read in high school were depressing. Now I think about a lot of the books I read in high school were depressing. Night by Elie Wiesel. Um, wow. Yeah, you read very depressing books. Romeo and Juliet, Julius Caesar, Macbeth. High school is a fun fest of reading, folks. At least those were the main ones that we were reading when I was in there. You really don't read the fun ones. They don't take the Shakespeare's comedies. They always stick with the tragedies. Uh, or yeah, because there was one that was actually involved it was an attempted rape in one of the books. I'm like, what are we reading? And it's like a young adult novel type of thing. And I'm like, what is it? I can't remember what the title of it was. If anybody out there is aware of like what they teach in college, I can't remember the name of this book, but it had, I think there was an attempted um, um, rape in it. Gah, I can't think of it, and it's gonna bust my mind apart until I figure it out. I'll have to Google some of the aspects of it. I had an art teacher who had a who had a globe that had a big hole in it that he would put. That's what he had kids draw stuff out of. And this, I can't remember. Was it, or am I thinking of another story? See, this is why I call these rambles, because I will just sit here and ramble, just just my own train of thought. Uh, I don't usually talk to myself. I'm not going to say I never talk to myself out loud, but this is kind of what it's like to me. I'll just sit there. It's like, what was that? I am a sick man sometimes. I'm describing half of the books they made us read. Yeah, but yeah, it was a specific book. I don't really remember what it was. If I remember it, maybe I'll post it in the thing. I'm gonna like quick Google um a couple aspects from it to see if I can come up with what it was. And if I had spelled it right, I'd been better. Oh my lord, is this it? I think I found it. Speak by Laurie Halsey Anderson. That was it. Speak. That's what it was called. I am so proud of myself. Yeah, it's called Speak. I remember it now, but I after I saw it, I'm like, that was the title. So yeah, so if you want to read a depressing book, it's considered the seminal young adult book that tackles sexual assault. Follows teenager Melinda Sordino in her freshman year of high school, ostracized by her peers after breaking up at the end of a summer party by calling the police. And throughout the book, she struggles to explain what prompted her to do so. So, yeah, that's it. So, if you want a fun read tonight, there you go. Yeah, they made your daughters read that one. Yeah, yeah. It was in forget what class, but we read that one for a class, and rather surprised by the story. I mean, it's a good story. I mean, ultimately, it's a good story. It was a well-written book, but the subject matter is of, kind of suspect. But Speak was the Tick's animal sidekick. Okay, I can't remember anything about the Tick. It's been a long time since I've done anything with the Tick. I still wish they would do Megaton Man. Anybody out there ever heard of Megaton Man? It was an independent comic book character, kind of a Superman analog. Trent Flug was his alter ego name, and he was like a reporter. It was kind of a parody-ish of Superman. It was kind of fun. But I'm pretty much all out of stuff. Like I said, just wanted to get on here, say hi. I didn't watch I saw some of the Tick. It's been a long time though. Uh, I do have to go back and catch some of it. I didn't watch the new one. I saw the original one with the guy from Seinfeld. I didn't see the new one with the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, and he was also in Parks and Recreation for an episode or two, playing a English lord. Don't watch the live action one. Okay. Call it Batman 80. I did see Batman 89. Oh, okay. Speak the capybara. Thank you, Daniel. Yes, Daniel sent me a message. I don't remember that. So sorry. I don't get to see everything. I can only see what I get to see. Uh, but I think I'm going to cut it off here. I'm going to thank everyone for showing up and just just letting me talk and ramble on here a bit. Like I said, I hope you join us tomorrow night on my channel, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m. Oh, and by the way, fans of the Fan Man returns with Fan Man Live tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central Time. The Fan Man is back, so yay. I hope everyone kind of drops in and welcomes him back to doing a show. He's going to be talking about several things. He has got his uh, stream. He's got his stream up, so definitely stop by and say hi to Fan Man. Like I said, Catholic Bible Geek has a new one up. Troy tonight has a new show coming on. I think they're going to be talking. I forget what they're talking about tonight. I want to say DC or Marvel, but I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, Troy tonight at 10 p.m. Geeky Geezers, Age of Boomer, and Troy Sunday at 9 Eastern. And just keep an eye out for Soundtracks with Birdman. He'll pop up. Hopefully, he'll get back into full swing here soon. Uh, Keep us up to date on all the great stuff going on in Soundtracks. But as for me, like I said, tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, John Carpenter's They Live. Be there to chew bubblegum and kick ass. But I'm not going to have any bubblegum. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Thanks for joining me. God bless you all, my owl pals. I love you so much. Take care. Goodbye.